Creepers! How the heck are you crazy creeps? We are here in Selwood, Oregon on the Selwood Bridge. And right behind me is this big boat. Not the Titanic. Kind of looks like it. Nonetheless, we are heading right behind me here, up in these hills, to the beautiful Riverview Cemetery to pay our respects to a very honorable person and his wife, who he saved during that tragic voyage of the Titanic. And there's some other stories I want to tell you guys, some newer things about the Titanic. So stay tuned. We're doing like a real life Jack and Rose, kind of a real life story. So stay tuned. Again, not the Titanic, but these guys are out for a voyage as well. Yeah, the seas were probably a little rougher back then. This is, you know, smooth sailing. And look at those two right on the front. I'm the king of the world. Portland looking absolutely gorgeous this morning. Alright, we're heading up to the cemetery. Alright, just making our way down off the Selwood Bridge. And there are some really cool placards here that they've installed at the cemetery, kind of giving us some information about some prominent folks buried here over the years and whatnot. And it is open to the general public. You can actually bike in, like that lady's doing now. And as long as you stay on the grounds. But yeah, Portland's oldest cemetery is Riverview, also the final resting place for some very celebrated citizens. Please feel free to respectfully explore this lovely site. So yeah, some other folks here buried as well, but today is going to be a special one. The final resting place to 2 Titanic victims. Right, we have made it, and I'm looking for, we're in the right section, section 7, and from what I've seen online, it's one of the bigger headstones that kind of sits up, resting off the main, you know, ground floor, as opposed to down, I believe, the family plot. And to be quite honest, I think I've seen this before, researching other things and whatnot. Okay, so here's the marker 116. So I think, okay, yeah, right here. Wow. Amazing. Behind me sits the final resting place to 2 individuals that boarded the Titanic. Very honorable, prominent, very honorable person, kind of saving his wife's life during that tragic day when the Titanic sunk during its voyage. Frank actually giving his wife the last, you know, life raft, making sure she got out safely, and he passed. So very honorable thing. But yeah, he was on that ship that day that voyaged out and sunk, and just had me thinking of it recently because I saw some articles about how they're getting some newer pictures for the Titanic and recreating it, like a 3D imagery of it. So pretty emotional for a lot of folks that lost anybody that day, obviously the movie too. Titanic touched a lot of people's hearts. But this is kind of the real life story of that, you know. Obviously they didn't make it off of the, you know, he didn't make it off, but his wife did, giving her the last raft, and kind of like in the movie. And his wife here laid to rest. Born October 24th, 1851 in Oregon City, Oregon, died July 16th of 1925. Anna Atkinson, wife of Frank Warren, the very honorable gentleman that saved her life that day and didn't make it out himself. And as stating here on his tombstone, lost at sea on the SS Titanic. So pretty honorable thing, and definitely got me thinking about very classic movie, the Titanic. And yeah, almost like a real life story. What's interesting too is I found this at an antique store on the way in here. It was in the window. Wanted to make sure I had enough battery to come up here to show you guys this, but yeah, pretty neat, you know. When you think of heroes and people that have been very honorable, risking their own lives, well, really, you know, giving their own lives for others. Pretty darn cool. So I wanted to kind of show this as well. Very great movie, Best Picture, 11 Academy Awards, Leo there. So really tragic story, but like I was saying, I did find some newer images of some 360 photos that they've been taking, deep diving, and they're going to actually recreate the Titanic, which I thought was so cool. And we just saw The Little Mermaid, and during The Little Mermaid she jumps down into like a sunken ship and is looking through all the treasures, and it kind of got me thinking about the Titanic, and it kind of all just tied in. Both being residents of Portland, Oregon, him and his wife both boarded the Titanic in the first class section, ticket number 110813, and they occupied cabin D37. That's going to do it for today. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. That'll ring you in to be a creeper today. You can also ring that bell. That way when I creep, you guys will be the first to creep. And if you did enjoy this, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Till next time, creeper out for now. Peace.